There comes a moment in every person's life when giving up feels easier than taking one more step. Maybe you're exhausted. Maybe you failed more times than you can count. Maybe you've started believing that success belongs to everyone except you. But before you make the decision to quit, stay with me for the next few minutes, because one choice today could completely change the direction of your life. One of the greatest mistakes people make is believing that the feeling of quitting should automatically become the decision to quit. Feelings are temporary. They rise and fall like waves, changing with circumstances, energy levels, and recent experiences. Decisions, however, shape the course of your life. When you allow a temporary emotion to make a permanent decision, you risk walking away from opportunities that were much closer than you realized. The most successful individuals are not those who never felt like giving up. They are the ones who understood that emotions deserve to be acknowledged, but not obeyed without careful thought. Your emotions are real, but they are not always reliable guides for your future. Think about the days when everything seems to go wrong. You work hard, yet nothing appears to improve. You invest time, energy, and effort, but the results remain invisible. In those moments, frustration whispers that quitting is the smartest option. Doubt begins to question your abilities, and discouragement magnifies every setback. But if you make your choices based on your worst emotional moments, you deny yourself the chance to experience your best ones. Many breakthroughs happen shortly after periods of disappointment because persistence gives progress the time it needs to appear. Every worthwhile goal demands emotional discipline. There will be mornings when motivation is absent, confidence feels weak, and hope seems distant. That is precisely when character is built. Anyone can continue when excitement is high and success is visible. It takes maturity to continue when the excitement fades and the outcome remains uncertain. The ability to separate your emotions from your commitments is one of the most valuable skills you can develop. You may not control how you feel every day, but you always have the ability to choose your response. Instead of asking yourself whether you feel like continuing, ask whether your goal is still worth pursuing. Feelings change from one day to the next, but meaningful purpose remains steady. A difficult day does not erase a worthwhile dream. One setback does not cancel months of progress. One mistake does not define your potential. The decision to keep moving forward becomes easier when it is rooted in purpose instead of emotion. Learn to pause before making life-changing decisions during moments of anger, exhaustion, disappointment, or fear. Give yourself time to recover, reflect, and regain perspective before deciding the future of something you have invested so much to build. Every meaningful accomplishment begins with enthusiasm, but it is completed through endurance. Starting something new is exciting because the possibilities seem endless and motivation is high. The vision is clear, the energy is fresh, and confidence feels natural. Yet as time passes, the excitement begins to fade. Challenges appear. Progress slows, and unexpected obstacles test your commitment. This is the point where many people stop. They confuse temporary difficulty with permanent failure and assume that the struggle means they are on the wrong path. In reality, struggle is often the very evidence that you are growing into someone capable of achieving greater things. Nothing of lasting value is built overnight. A strong career, a successful business, a healthy body, a meaningful relationship, or a life of influence all require patience combined with consistent effort. Every day you continue, despite discomfort, you strengthen qualities that cannot be purchased or borrowed. You develop resilience, discipline, wisdom, and emotional stability. These traits are not formed during easy seasons. They are shaped during moments when quitting seems reasonable, but continuing becomes a personal choice. The people we admire are rarely those who had the easiest journey. They are the ones who remained committed when circumstances gave them every excuse to stop. Endurance is more than simply surviving difficult times. It is maintaining your standards even when the rewards are delayed. It means continuing continuing to prepare even when no one is watching, continuing to learn even after making mistakes, and continuing to improve when recognition has not yet arrived. Success often stays hidden beneath months or years of unnoticed effort. What appears to others as an overnight breakthrough is usually the result of countless ordinary days filled with persistence, learning, adjustment, and determination. Every small action, repeated consistently, lays another brick in the foundation of extraordinary achievement. There will always be moments when your progress feels invisible. You may wonder whether your hard work is making any difference at all. During those seasons, remember that many of life's greatest transformations happen gradually. A tree does not become strong in a single day. A craftsman does not master a skill after one attempt. Excellence is earned through repetition, correction, and patience. Every challenge you overcome increases your capacity to handle greater responsibilities and larger opportunities. Instead of measuring your journey only by immediate results, measure it by the person you are becoming through the process. The strength you build while enduring difficulties often becomes the greatest reward long before the final achievement itself is reached. Real growth rarely happens during moments of comfort. It happens when you continue moving forward, even when the journey becomes difficult, uncertain, or exhausting. Most people expect growth to feel exciting and rewarding every step of the way. But the truth is that growth often feels uncomfortable before it feels fulfilling. It asks you to develop new habits, face unfamiliar challenges, and overcome limitations that have held you back for years. If you stop every time the process becomes uncomfortable, you interrupt the very transformation you are hoping to achieve. Progress belongs to those who are willing to continue long after the initial excitement has faded. Every challenge you face is teaching you something valuable, even when the lesson is not immediately obvious. Difficult moments strengthen your patience, sharpen your judgment, and increase your confidence in ways that easy victories never can. When you keep going despite setbacks, you begin to discover strengths you never knew you possessed. You realize that your limits were often created by fear rather than reality. Each obstacle you overcome becomes evidence that you are capable of handling more than you once believed. Confidence is not built by avoiding hard situations. It is built by proving to yourself that you can survive and grow through them. Many people quit because they expect visible results too quickly. They plant the seed today and expect a harvest tomorrow. When the progress seems slow, they assume nothing is happening. Yet some of the most important changes take place beneath the surface, where they cannot be seen. Just as a tree develops deep roots before it grows tall branches, your character is developing long before your success becomes visible. Every discipline choice, every extra effort, and every lesson learned from failure is strengthening the foundation upon which future success will stand. The work you do today may not receive immediate recognition, but it is preparing you for opportunities that require greater wisdom and resilience. The path to improvement is rarely straight. There will be days when you feel unstoppable and days when you question everything you are doing. What matters is not achieving perfection, but maintaining consistency. A single setback does not erase your progress, just as one successful day does not complete the journey. Keep showing up, keep learning, keep adjusting your approach when necessary, but never abandon your purpose simply because the road has become difficult. Every step forward, no matter how small, is moving you closer to the person you are meant to become. The version of yourself you admire is created through thousands of ordinary decisions to continue when stopping would have been easier. And every one of those decisions shapes a stronger, wiser, and more capable future. Your future is not created by one extraordinary moment. It is built by the ordinary choices you make every single day. Every decision, no matter how small it seems, becomes a vote for the person you are becoming. The choice to wake up with purpose, to complete the work you promised yourself, to learn something new, or to remain disciplined when distractions appear may not seem significant in the moment. Yet these decisions accumulate over weeks, months, and years until they produce results that appear remarkable to others. Success is rarely the product of one dramatic dramatic action. It is the natural outcome of consistent choices made long before anyone notices the progress. Many people wait for the perfect opportunity, believing that one lucky break will transform their lives. They overlook the power of daily habits because they seem too simple to matter. But the direction of your life is determined far more by what you repeatedly do than by what you occasionally accomplish. Every productive habit strengthens your character, while every careless habit quietly shapes a future you may not want. The small decisions you make today are preparing the circumstances you will face tomorrow. Whether you realize it or not, every action is either building momentum toward your goals or creating distance from them. There will be days when making the right choice feels inconvenient, choosing discipline instead of comfort, preparation instead of procrastination, and patience instead of instant gratification requires effort. The easier option often promises immediate satisfaction, while the better option offers rewards that come much later. This is where wisdom becomes more valuable than emotion. Successful people understand that today's sacrifices are investments in tomorrow's opportunities. They do not allow temporary comfort to steal long-term success. They understand that every decision carries consequences, and those consequences eventually become the reality they live each day. Your circumstances may not always be within your control, but your responses always are. You cannot rewrite yesterday, but you can choose what you will do today. Every sunrise gives you another opportunity to make decisions that align with the future you desire. Instead of becoming overwhelmed by how far you still have to go, focus on making today's choices count. Read one more page, practice one more skill, finish one more task, encourage one more person, improve one more habit. These seemingly ordinary actions create extraordinary momentum when repeated consistently. As time passes, you begin to notice that your confidence grows, your abilities improve, and your opportunities increase, because your daily choices have quietly transformed your character, strengthened your discipline, expanded your perspective, and prepared you to achieve goals that once seemed far beyond your reach. Every worthwhile journey involves some level of pain. There is the pain of learning a new skill, the pain of discipline, the pain of rejection, the pain of failure, and the pain of waiting for results that seem slow to arrive. These experiences are uncomfortable, but they are temporary. They come and go, leaving behind lessons, strength, and wisdom that remain long after the discomfort has passed. Regret is different. Regret has a way of staying with you because it is rooted in opportunities ignored, dreams abandoned, and decisions never made. The temporary pain of persistence may test your endurance today, but the lasting pain of wondering what could have been can follow you for years. Many people avoid temporary discomfort because they want immediate relief. They stop pursuing a goal the moment it becomes difficult, believing that quitting will remove the pressure they feel. At first, it may seem like the easier choice. The struggle disappears and the responsibility fades. But as time moves forward, a different kind of pain begins to grow. It appears when they see someone else achieve what they once dreamed of accomplishing. It returns when they remember the talents they never developed or the opportunities they allowed to pass by. The short-term comfort of quitting often becomes the long-term burden of regret, reminding them that they walked away before discovering what they were truly capable of becoming. The people who achieve extraordinary things are not immune to pain. They simply understand that discomfort is part of the price of growth. They accept that every meaningful goal requires sacrifice. They know there will be long days, unexpected setbacks, and moments when the finish line seems impossibly far away. Instead of allowing those moments to convince them to quit, they remind themselves that every challenge is temporary. They keep moving, even if progress feels slow, because they understand that perseverance always offers a greater reward than surrender. Every obstacle overcome becomes another reason to believe in themselves, and another reminder that difficult seasons never last forever. Whenever you feel like giving up, ask yourself which pain you would rather carry. Would you rather experience the temporary discomfort of continuing or the lasting disappointment of never knowing what might have happened if you had stayed the course? The answer to that question can change the direction of your life. The difficult workout eventually ends. The demanding project is eventually completed. The long nights of study eventually lead to knowledge. The repeated failures eventually become experience. Every challenge has an ending, but regret often grows stronger each time you remember the chance you refused to take. The courage to endure today's pain becomes the foundation for tomorrow's confidence, fulfillment, and peace of mind, because you chose progress over comfort and possibility over fear. The moment you quit, every possibility disappears. As long as you keep moving forward, there is always a chance that tomorrow will be different from today. That is the power of persistence. It keeps the door of opportunity open, even when circumstances seem to be working against you. Success is rarely determined by who starts with the greatest advantage. More often, it belongs to the person who stays in the race long enough to improve, adapt, and grow. Every day you refuse to quit is another day to learn, another day to become stronger, and another day to move one step closer to the life you have been working toward. Life has a way of testing commitment before it rewards it. There will be moments when nothing seems to be going your way. Your efforts may go unnoticed. Your progress may feel painfully slow, and your confidence may be challenged by repeated setbacks. During those seasons, it is easy to believe that quitting is the logical choice. But difficult seasons are not permanent. Circumstances change, opportunities appear, and new doors open for those who remain prepared. The people who eventually succeed are often the ones who simply refused to give up while everyone else walked away. Their greatest advantage was not superior talent or perfect timing. It was their willingness to continue when the outcome was uncertain. Persistence does not mean repeating the same mistakes without learning from them. It means continuing with greater wisdom each time you face a challenge. Every failure teaches a lesson. Every obstacle reveals a weakness that can be strengthened, and every disappointment provides an opportunity to adjust your approach. When you refuse to quit, you give yourself the gift of experience. Over time, experience develops judgment, and good judgment leads to better decisions. The person who remains committed eventually becomes far more capable than the person who gave up at the first sign of difficulty. Growth belongs to those who stay engaged with the process long enough to master it. Remember that many of the greatest victories in life happen after moments when quitting seemed completely reasonable. Countless dreams have been realized because someone chose to take one more step, make one more attempt, or believe one more time when there was little evidence that success was near. You do not need to know exactly when your breakthrough will come. You only need to make sure you are still moving when it does. Every day you continue is proof that your determination is stronger than your doubt. Every challenge you overcome adds another layer of confidence, resilience, and wisdom to your character. As long as you refuse to quit, you remain in a position where new opportunities can find you, unexpected breakthroughs can happen, your abilities can continue to grow, and your future can become greater than you ever imagined. Never let a difficult moment convince you to abandon a meaningful dream. Keep moving forward, one step, one choice, and one day at a time. Your greatest breakthrough may be waiting just beyond the challenge you're facing today. Stay strong, stay disciplined, and never stop believing in the person you are becoming.